How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Matt Return Podcast. I'm Zach Allen.
And I'm Kaleb Boyer.
And Penn State's regular season is about to start here shortly on Sunday against Lehigh, ranked opponent to start off the year. I mean, we don't know how much that means, given how good this Penn State team is. But really the only question I feel like going into this dual meet is Penn State's, what are they going to do at 125? You know, you have Robbie Howard, who's come back from an injury. Braden Davis and Gary Steen have wrestled well at tournaments already. Other than that, it's pretty set. So Kaleb, at 125 pounds this weekend, what should Penn State expect to do?
Well, I definitely think they'll start Robbie Howard. They're going to give him a little bit of a leash. They're going to let him have a little bit of an opportunity to find some footing underneath of him before the season gets really rolling. They'll be facing the number 33 ranked guy at 125. So this is definitely I don't want to say a challenge because this is a guy that he can beat. I don't know if he will, but I think it'll be very telling that if he can't beat him, that they might start looking at their options at 125.
Yeah, I mean, at Media Day, when Kale's been asked kind of about what he's going to do at the 125 class, it's kind of been like, you know, Robbie's still getting back from injury. It's been 2 years since he's wrestled in college before, obviously, the Journeyman Classic and the Black Knight Invitational. So I remember someone asked me on Twitter, like, how long do you think the leash is? And I feel like it's going to be it has to be at least through the new year with Hofstra coming up as well. I don't think we should have expected Robbie Howard to be, you know, rip and raring to go right off of an injury like that and to just come in and, you know, beat up all these guys. But I think, you know, if it still continues this way, Penn State has had some studs in the tournament at 125 pounds this season. Braden Davis is the main guy there. Do you think eventually we could see Braden get some action in some of these matches?
It's kind of like Terrell last year with Levi. If things keep going not as planned, I think that leash they'll eventually, you know, they'll have to make a change. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. You can't go into every match like you did last year where one of the weights is just an automatic loss. I mean, I believe last year Steen won one Big Ten duel and maybe two more. It was very few outside of the open tournament. So,
yeah, and you know, Braden's beaten already some ranked wrestlers. He's beaten Tristan Luan out of Michigan State and Ethan Bergink out of Army. So he's already shown he can do it. Obviously, Lehigh has Luke Stanek. He slots in at the last possible ranked spot. But yeah, I also expect Robbie to start for what it's worth. But I think that's going to be one of the close matches. I think one of the few close matches. There are, you know, a few top 10 matches. 133 pounds, I think, is the most notable one.
Yep.
You know, what do you see there? Obviously, Lehigh's guy, Crookham, took down Vito Arujau, last year's national champion. So I guess what do you kind of see there?
I want this bout is like, to me, like a huge toss-up because I could easily see either wrestler winning. I'm kind of feel like I would pick Nagao to lose. It's very close. Both guys have dominated pretty much every bout that they've faced. It's unreal. It's going to be the best match of the day, obviously, and these guys probably, I mean, they might face the Nationals at one point in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is by far going to be, you know, the bout of the night. Just looking through the rest of the lineup, it's not even close, I don't think, for most of them. But I think that's going to be very close. And you have Aaron losing then.
I don't know. Just based off of the Arujau match alone, I feel like you kind of have to. And I think Flo put him as their number one guy a couple weeks ago, I saw. So,
and the fact Aaron is also coming back from injury. I mean, he's been back, but got to think it still might be lurking a tiny bit. I mean, it hasn't shown up in any of his other matches. He pinned a ranked wrestler already in under a minute. So he's proven he can do it against ranked guys. Obviously, he was an All-American last season. I'm excited for that one. The other two top 10 matchups, we have Bo Bartlett and Malik Hines right after that one at 141 pounds. And then Aaron Brooks and his former teammate Michael Beard at 197 pounds. Penn State wrestled Lehigh last season, and it was kind of cool to see him back.
He beat Dean on his
return. Yeah, he did. So I guess now he faces Aaron, who's up a weight class. I guess, do you think wrestling a former teammate, they already know each other's wrestling styles? Do you think that will make it closer? Do you still have Aaron winning? I mean, what are your opinions there?
I think it depends on the wrestler. I mean, Carter's talked about in the past, the more he faces a guy, the more that he feels like he can beat them. Like, the easier he can beat them. Mm-hmm. I think we saw that recently with Mackay. I just believe that this bout won't be, I don't think it'll be close. I think it'll probably be a bonus point decision. Even being bumped up away, I think Aaron's just that much better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, being familiar only can make you so good against one guy. Aaron Brooks is a 3-time national champion. So I also agree with you. I don't think that's going to be particularly close. And the other one, Bo Bartlett's already wrestled Malik Hines, and Bo won 15-3, the major decision. I mean, you have to think Hines will be looking for some revenge, at least this weekend, to at least get that taste out of his mouth. But I still think Bo Bartlett has just continued to improve every season, and I think he will be on the cusp of majoring him again this time. But at the bare minimum, I think that's also a decision.
Well, since moving to 141, he's been rock solid. I mean, last year he placed third, so I mean, I think that the sky's the limit for him at this point. He'll probably, I think third place is probably the floor for him this year as well. So, I mean, just all across the lineup, guys have just really come together this year, especially.
Yeah, and then heavyweight to close out the night, maybe. Who knows? We've seen them start at 157 before. I could see them doing that maybe with the 133-pound match being, top 5, not just top 10. It's a top 5 match between Greg Kirkfleet and Nathan Taylor at heavyweight. But I think other than those, I just think Penn State is going to wipe Lehigh. I don't really think that's going to be just unique to Lehigh either. I think Penn State can and will do that against some of the best Big Ten teams. Just with this lineup, there's so many guys that are in the top 3, even in the top 2. There's like at least, I think it's 8 wrestlers are in the top 3. 7 of them are in the top 2. Aaron Nagau's number 3.
Yes, everyone but Nagau, Robbie, and Messenbrink are all within the top 2. Yeah, and Nagau's 3.
I just expect Penn State to really handle this easily. I think
they could shut them out. I mean, that's completely in the cards. Every match is winnable. Yeah. All but 2 of them are losable. Only 2 of them are really even losable.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're looking forward a little bit here, is there a team you think Penn State could lose to? Just overall in a dual meet? Yeah.
I mean, there would have to be guys resting. I mean, assuming a full starting lineup, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't either. I think Penn State just has the firepower to do whatever they want. They had that last season, and they retooled, and it's just
the lineup's almost better. I think it is better actually overall.
Probably is better, and it's weird thinking after you lose Roman Bravo Young, it's like how can it possibly get better, and Max Dean as well. But Penn State finds a way. They hit the transfer portal really heavy, and it's going to benefit them. It's already benefited them. I mean, anyway, I guess the final thing we'll do today, we'll go through each bout, all 10,
Okay.
and you'll give your prediction for each one, and then we'll add up the score to give the full prediction
All right.
of Sunday's dual meet. You can go first. You'll go first.
All right. I think there's going to be a loss at 125, just a decision. Oh, man, 133, it's so tough. I mean, I think that this has a, like, sudden victory written all over it.
Yeah.
So, I'll pick Aaron.
You'll pick Aaron.
Yep. And then a major decision at 141 again. At 149, a Tech. 157, a fall for Levi.
Mm-hmm.
A major decision at 165. A pin at 174 for Carter.
Bernie.
Yep. I'll go with the major decision again. And then at 197, another major for Aaron. And at 285, I'll go just a decision for Greg.
Yeah, I think we have the same exact predictions. I think Robbie could easily win, given that if he's the starter. Mm-hmm. But I think he'll lose a close one, kind of just still getting the rust off before the Big Ten schedule opens up in January. And then like you said, I was going to say I was going to put Aaron DeGow over Crookham in sudden victory as well. I think that's just like a 4-1 type of match. And then Bo over Malik Hines. I'll give him another major decision at that again, like he did earlier in the season. I'm going to go a fall for Shane Van Ness. He's shown he can do it already. That first tournament, he had 3 pins. None of them got outside of the first period. Just doesn't bode well for Lehigh at all. Levi's going to do his job. I'm going to go Tech fall for Levi.
Okay.
Messenbrink, I feel like this could be a closer match than maybe people think. But I'm still going to give it to Messenbrink. I'm going to go by decision on that one. I'm going to agree with you. Carter's going to pin his guy. I think Bernie is going to come away with a Tech fall. Aaron, major decision. And then Greg, also a major decision there. So I think after 125, it's really going to be some bad news for Lehigh in Rec Hall. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. For now, we'll be covering Penn State's matchup against Lehigh in Rec Hall. Once again, I'm Zach Allen.
And I'm Kaleb Boyer.
And this has been the Matt Return Podcast. Peace.